There is not much precedent for it, but there is one similar story we can share with you this morning, and that is the story of Frieda Birnbaum, the New Jersey woman who gave birth to twin boys when she was 60 2 years ago. She's on the phone with us this morning from Saddle River, New Jersey. Ms. Birnbaum, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And as we speak, we're looking at your boys when they were born, Jarrett and Jake. How are they doing now at age 2?
They're beautiful and fine and loving and just a delight to be with.
Why did you decide, Ms. Birnbaum, to have them at that point in your life when you were 60?
Well, you know, I think 60 was a number that was very different than 50. But I was in my 50s when I made the decision, and I just happened to have turned 60 at a few months before. But I think that age is being redefined. I was quoted in Newsweek for saying that, and it keeps coming back to me that women represent themselves differently now at different ages. I'm not saying you should have a baby at 60, but I am saying that there are things out there that women should be looking at for themselves because it's not over and it's just beginning.
So it's a women's issue for you, an issue of empowerment, is it?
It's not a wish. I didn't have children to be empowered. I had children because I have another child that's 8, and I wanted him to have a sibling. But what happened, the outcome of this, is that the way the world looked at my age was shocking to me because I was living my life similar to always. Nothing has changed.
Interesting. When you say it was shocking to me how the world responded, what was the response you heard after you had your boys?
Well, the news media was all over me. Press conferences, guards in the hospital. I was snuck through a tunnel underneath to come home, and then they were waiting for me at home. And I said, boy, what did I do? What happened? So to them it seemed very revolutionary, but I've always been used to that. When I was younger, I had a stigma attached because I went to school and had children, my older children, or had a career. And there was nobody ahead of me that I knew that was doing these things. So then I look back 10 years later, and what else is new? Everyone's working, and everyone is having a dual job of work and responsibility at home, and it's the norm. So this eventually, I'm sure the public is not ready to hear this. 10, 20 years from now, there'll be more of this going on.
It's interesting. There is still such huge interest, even 2 years after yours,
Absolutely.
from media, but also from the public. And we have had, just at our newsroom here in Canada, our individual one, hundreds of emails from people and blogs,
Yes.
and they're chiefly negative. And the
Yes.
response that you hear chiefly is that it's selfish to have children so late in life.
Yes.
Deny the children what is, the fullest ability. You never know what's going to happen in life, but the fullest ability to grow old with their parents.
Well, my parents lived into their 90s, and my husband lost his father when his father was 64, and we were married for several years, and he was 32. I think it's more irresponsible for people who have dysfunctional families, who have developmental problems, they're immature, they're too young to have children. I feel I'm giving these children the best of care. I'm a professional, I know what I'm doing, I'm healthy, people are living longer. I feel that society is not there yet, but women represent a different age. And on top of that, women should not fear getting older because it's really not negative. They look back and they see that their lives went by and they didn't enjoy it because another year, they feel as if they're over the hill, and that's not true.
When you speak of being professional, you're a psychologist, and I know you have an appointment with somebody coming up. But just before I let you go, I won't jeopardize that. But the issue in the case of the woman in Calgary, similar to yours, in that the woman in Calgary went to India for in vitro treatment because she was denied here. You went to South Africa.
Yes.
And there are those who think that, if you live in a society that believes it's right to put regulations around these technological issues, these choices, why is it right to circumvent those?
I don't think I circumvented it. I think it was a more practical way for me to go about doing it, less expensive. Actually, at that time, I was in my 50s. I wasn't 60. I was 55 when I started looking into it. And I was, there was a clinic here that could have treated me, actually, because I was just going to turn 55, and they had the deadline that hadn't reached yet. So that was not, I was not trying to go around anything. It was just more practical for me. But it's interesting that women my age have been calling me from around the world, thanking me because they feel that I'm an inspiration for giving them a second chance in life, not to have babies, but to reinvent themselves. Younger women, on the contrary, have gone in the other extreme because to them, I'm an old lady in comparison.
Have you offered any inspiration to the woman in Calgary at all?
I think to enjoy it. I think to be healthy, to live a healthy life for the children, and to be a good parent. That's what it's all about.
Ms. Birnbaum, thank you so much. From you, we can get the real personal insight, which is so rare to come by in a story like this. Thank you for your time this morning.
Bye-bye.